Hello, and welcome back, federal employees. It is so good to have you. And now, if you're watching this on YouTube and you say, hey, is Dallen wearing the same tie for another video? And the answer is yes, I definitely am. I record these in batches where I record a few videos all at once because life is busy for me. I'm running a business, got family, got a wife, all these things that are taking my time. And so to make sure that I get you the information, get you this podcast, get you this video in a timely manner, to get you all the things that you need to get the most out of your career and your retirement, I batch them. I do a lot at once to get the most done for you. So yes, if I'm wearing the same tie in a couple videos, I'm sorry, that is just what I have to do to really get the most for you. Okay. With that preface, with that intro, let's dig right in to this week's article. So, as a general rule, here in America, we love sales. We love to feel like we're saving some money, we're getting a good deal, right? Just think about Black Friday. People go nuts. People get violent to be able to get that flat screen TV on sale at Walmart, right? It's huge. People love to feel like they're saving money. So let me tell you about a sale that has been going on for a couple years now, but is going to end potentially in 2025. You got a few more years, right? But it's coming to an end, and that is taxes. I know, right? It's bizarre. You've been saving on taxes and you probably didn't even know, or you might have known, but most people don't know that it is scheduled to expire in 2025. So a couple years ago, the tax law changes. It changes with how taxes are calculated for corporations, but also for individuals, and most people are paying less in taxes. Now, let me tell you what that means. So that means today, if you make money, you're going to pay less on taxes than you do on that same amount of income in 2026. Now, we don't know exactly that the tax law is going to change back in 2026. All we know right now, as it is written, many of the things that does save us individuals money on taxes is set to expire. Now, could the law change? Could people go in there and extend that? Definitely. Let me tell you why I don't think that's going to happen. I think, as we know, the government has plenty of deficits with debt, with Social Security. There's a few things that they definitely need income for. So, will it get extended a little bit? Maybe. Will it get extended forever? I highly doubt it. I could be very wrong. I don't have a crystal ball. I have no clue. But I think it's important to know that taxes probably are not going to be as low as they are forever. Now, I'm not making a political statement about where taxes should be. I'm just saying they probably aren't going to stay as low as they are forever. So, what does that mean for you? When it comes to taxes and planning for taxes, all these things, most people think about retirement. And this is probably one of the topics, one of the questions that I don't get, because people don't even think to ask the question. And that is taxes in retirement. Now, when people say, oh, yeah, I don't want to pay taxes in retirement, but most federal employees do not realize that most of the income that they have in retirement time is going to be taxable. You're going to be paying taxes in retirement, and most federal employees are going to be in the exact same tax bracket that they were before, if not a higher one. And let me tell you why. So, your Social Security is one aspect of your income in retirement. Your pension is another aspect. Your TSP is the third. You may have other investments, you have other income, but for the classic federal employee in the FER system, those are your three legs of income. Social Security, your pension, your TSP. Now, the majority of federal employees invest in the traditional TSP, right? When you take it out, it's taxable, 100% taxable. Your pension, depending on which type of FERS you are, the majority of your pension, when you receive it in retirement, guess what? Taxable. At least 90%, if not more. Social Security, depending on your income in retirement, will determine the percentage of Social Security that is taxable. For most federal employees, it's going to be 85%. So basically, I mean, it's not 100%, but it's very close to all of your income in retirement is most likely going to be taxable. Okay? And let me ask you this. In retirement, are you hoping to have a higher standard of living than you do right now, or a lower one, or about the same? And everyone has a different answer for that. I ask my clients all the time about this, and some people are like, well, I'd like to do a few more things. I'd like to travel. I'd like to have this vacation home. I'd like to do a little more, and if their finances allow, we're like, great. Their lifestyle's going to be a little higher. Some people it's like, no, I want the same. Some people it's like, well, no, I'm fine. I'm going to be really low key. I don't need as much, and that's totally okay. But most federal employees say, I want about the same. And so if you want about the same amount of income that you do right now, and basically all that income is going to be taxable, and you want to be in a lower tax bracket, well, how's that going to work, right? You have to plan accordingly, maybe with the Roth TSP, maybe with other strategies to be in a lower tax bracket. And the reason I bring all this up with the conversation of taxes, our favorite subject ever, is, okay, with these tax law changes, if right now taxes are on sale, but let's say I'm going to retire in 10 years and maybe I'm going to live for another 40 years in retirement, what tax bracket am I going to be then? Because that's how we can make decisions now. It's like, okay, what is my tax bracket now? How much of my money am I paying in taxes now? And how much of it am I going to pay down the road? And with that information, you can make decisions. Okay, does it make sense to use the Roth TSP? Does it make sense to push my taxes till later or to pay it now? Right? And I'm not saying everyone should use the Roth TSP to pay taxes now and not push it till later. I don't know what taxes are going to do. I bring this up just to think about it. This is just a question to think about so that you can make educated decisions along the way. I think this is something that people often just don't think about when they think about taxes and retirement. Most people think that Social Security, no, Social Security is not going to be taxable. I worked a long career, right? The government's not going to tax me on my Social Security. They will. And they do, right? Your pension, same thing. They will and they do. TSP, same. It's taxable income. So if you do not plan accordingly and think through some of this, you're probably going to be in the exact same tax bracket. And if taxes increase, maybe a higher one. So you have to just think through what this means for you. Often, high income earners, it still doesn't make sense to use the Roth TSP because it's so expensive to do it. Because if they use a Roth TSP instead of the traditional TSP, they have to pay tons in taxes today. So I'm not saying it always makes sense. I'm just saying think about it. Just look at your numbers. Think about your career, your income. Is your income going to increase dramatically? Where are you at in your career? Are you young where your Roth TSP would have tons of time to grow tax-free? Or maybe you're approaching retirement where you don't have as much time to work with? The different elements kind of work differently together depending on where your career, depending on your income, and depending on your retirement plans. And so that is why all these things kind of come into play where I really wish there was an ideal strategy for investments, but there truly is not because everyone has different characteristics of their life, whether that's their income, their part in their career, and their retirement plans. And once you kind of know all these things, then me as a financial planner, I could say, okay, client, this probably makes sense for you because down the road, this is probably about what your income's going to be, and we could give our best guess what tax brackets are going to be. And right now, we know what taxes are, and so does it make sense to pay taxes now or push them till later? If we pay taxes now, we use the Roth TSP. If we push it till later, we use the traditional TSP. And what makes sense for us? What makes sense for you? Right? These are the sort of things that you should be thinking about so that over time you could save a ton of money just by knowing the rules, by knowing the tax rules and how things work. You can be the most prepared that you can be, and in retirement you could be in a low tax bracket as much as you possibly can. I'm a huge advocate of paying all the taxes that you owe, but there are some strategies to lower them as much as you possibly can, and I love the IRS, but I'm not going to leave them a tip. I'm going to pay everything I owe, but I'm not going to leave a tip. I'm not going to pay extra just because I don't know the rules. I want to be as prepared as possible to get the most out of my retirement, out of right now. I want to have as much income as I can now and as much down the road. You work hard. You sacrifice. You trade a part of your life for your income. You trade your hours, your time, your energy to work and to earn money. And so it is your right to try to keep as much of that as possible. And like I said, I'm a huge advocate of paying the taxes that you owe but don't leave a tip unless you have to. Okay, so that is my thought for today. Pay the IRS what that you owe, just don't leave a tip. Okay, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time.